Actual home prices increased by 3% last month compared to last year to about $730,000. We first brought you some of these numbers yesterday on City News at 5 and 6, and they should serve as a warning to some city staff and councillors here at City Hall, where they've relied heavily on the land transfer tax in recent years to balance the budget.
We become used to it, dependent upon it, reliant on it, and there has to come a day when that's going to end. And financially, I don't think we're ready for that. When they said that we had to cool the housing market, and there are all sorts of benefits for young families, etc., to make it more affordable, what they didn't talk about is the impact this would have on governments in terms of the revenue that was coming in.
This is the staff report issued yesterday to Toronto's Budget Committee. It states that higher home prices and transactions in early 2017 brought in $61 million more than anticipated for our land transfer tax coffers. The market slowdown in the second quarter of the year is expected to cut that surplus in half by $30 million. Some say the province should step up to the plate and help the city, though we got a hard no today at Queen's Park.
It would only be fair that if there is a shortfall of $30 to $100 million, that the City of Toronto should ask the province of Ontario for help, because this decline in revenue is one can attribute it as a result of the imposition of new taxes and regulations, which were not municipal, they were all provincial.
Toronto is in charge of determining how it's going to raise its own revenues. Land transfer tax is a form of revenue that goes up and down with the market, so it's something that the city has to be mindful of.
One other way to offset the potential land transfer tax shortfall is to double up on other taxes. In a statement today to City News, the Mayor's office wrote, Mayor Tory is committed to keeping any tax increase at or below the rate of inflation. He has kept that promise in the last 3 budgets and is on track to keep that promise next year. Now, the figure being kicked around by city staff when it comes to land transfer tax predictions is simply just an educated guess at this point. Real estate insiders say we'll have a better idea of how the fall market's going to turn over the next couple weeks as we see how many new listings come into play.